Hi children, welcome to class 7. Subject Social Science, Unit 1, Part 2. Topic of the lesson is Sources of Medieval India. We studied in the previous video regarding to the Sources of Medieval India, Part 1. Isn't it? Shall I ask the questions, children? Yes. What are the two sources of medieval India? Primary sources and secondary sources. What are the things for the primary sources? Primary sources contains inscriptions, monuments, coin. Yes, children, we have covered primary sources in the previous class, isn't it? Yes. In this video, we are going to see the secondary sources. What are the secondary sources? First one, religious and secular literature. Second one, books, biographies and autobiographies. Third one, travelers and travelogues. Travelers and travelogues. Before going to see the details of the literature of that period, we can see about what is literature. What is literature? Literature is creative writings in the form of poems, novels, dramas, fictions and non-fictions. Repeat children. Literature is creative writings in the form of poems, novels, dramas, fictions and non-fictions. Now we move on the types of literature. Literature can be classified into two types. They are religious literature and secular literature. How many types of literatures are there? Two types of literature. They are religious literature, secular literature. What is religious literature? Books which contain information about a particular religion and principles will come under religious literature. Books which contain information about a particular religion and principles will come under religious literature. Devotional movement in South India and later in North resulted in the development of Bhakti or devotional literature. Initially, the religion started in South India. Later on, it spreaded in North India. What is the meaning in Bhakti? Bhakti means the love for the God, the respect for the God, the creator of all living things and non-living things. Devotional we can use in regional religious worship. Religious worship. Third point, the Chola period was known as the period of devotional literatures and works. During the period of Chola, so many literature regarding the religion were created. Now, we will discuss about the religious literature during the Chola period. The important religious literature at that was first one, Kamba Ramayanam. Kamba Ramayanam. Kamba Ramayanam was written by Tamil poet Kamba. This book based on Valmiki's Ramayana, which was written in Sanskrit language. Which was written in Sanskrit language. Who wrote Kamba Ramayanam? Kambar. Kambar wrote Kamba Ramayanam. Then second one, Seykilas Periya Pranam. Seykilas Periya Pranam. Seykilar was a poet and the chief minister in the Chola king, and he compiled by Nadamuni, and he wrote a Tamil poem compiling the life of the 63 Nayanmars, the poets of Tamil Saivism. The poets of Tamil Saivism. Third one, Nalayira Divya Prabandham. Nalayira Divya Prabandham. Nalayiram means 4,000. 4,000 verses composed by 12 alvas and compiled by Nadamuni. Who compiled Nalayira Divya Prabandham? Nadamuni compiled Nalayira Divya Prabandham. The next one, Devaram. Devaram composed by Appar, Sambandar and Sundara and compiled by Nambi Andar Nambi. Devaram composed by Appar, Sambandar and Sundara and compiled by Nambianda Nambi. Next religious literature is Manikya Vasagas Thiruvasagam. Manikya Vasagas Thiruvasagam. Thiruvasagam was written by Manikya Vasaga. Next one, Jayadevas Geetha Govindam. Jayadevas Geetha Govindam. Geetha Govindam was follow-up of the Bhakti movement in South India. Next, Kabir Das. Kabir Das, a 15th century mystic poet, also had an influence on the Bhakti movement in India. What is the meaning of mystic poet? Main jnani, a person who spends his life developing his spirit and communicating with God. Children, now we move on the secular literature. The first we can see Madhura Vijayam. It is the Sanskrit poem written by the poet Ganga Devi. Madhura Vijayam was written by the poet Ganga Devi. Madhura Vijayam means victory of Madurai. Madhura Vijayam means victory of Madurai. Next, Amukta Malyada. It is an epic poem in Telugu. Amukta Malyada was composed by Krishna Devaraya. Who composed Amukta Malyada? Krishna Devaraya. Krishna Devaraya of Vijayanagar dynasty. And these two books, Madhura Vijayam and Amukta Malyada, give rich importance or insight into the events and the individuals who were associated with Vijayanagar Empire. The next important secular literature is Prithviraj Raso. Prithviraj Raso. It is an epic poem about the life of Rajput King Prithviraj Chauhan. It was written by Chand Barde. It was written by Chand Barde. Who wrote Prithviraj Raso? Chand Barde wrote Prithviraj Raso. The next one, Raja Tarangini. Raja Tarangini. Raja Tarangini was written by Kalhana. Written by Kalhana. It is from the 11th century. It was written in Sanskrit by the Kashmiri historian Kalhana. Kashmiri historian Kalhana. The word Rajatarangini means river of king. The word Rajatarangini means river of king. Now we are going to see about second point of secondary sources of medieval India. Books, biographies and autobiographies. The first book we are going to learn about Tabaqat-i-Nasiri. Tabaqat-i-Nasiri. Tabaqat-i-Nasiri written by Minhaj-uz-Siraj. Minhaj-uz-Siraj. Minhaj-uz-Siraj, patronized by Sultan Nasiruddin Mahmud of slave dynasty, wrote Tabaqat-i-Nasiri. The compendium deals with the period from the conquest of Muhammad of Ghori in the year 1175 to 1260. The compendium was named after his patron. Tabaqat is an Arabic word meaning generations or centuries. Generations or centuries. Which book was written by Minhaj-uz-Siraj? Tabaqat-i-Nasiri. Tabaqat-i-Nasiri. The next book we are going to learn by written in the 13th century. The book name is Taj-ul-Mazir. Taj-ul-Mazir. In the 13th century, Hasan Nizami, a migrant from Kajani, wrote Taj-ul-Mazir towards the end of Iltutmish rule. It provides information about Qutbuddin Aibak and is considered the first official history of the Delhi Sultanate. What is the name of book? Taj-ul-Mazir. Taj-ul-Mazir. It was written by Hasan Nizami. It is considered as the first official history of the Delhi Sultanate. Who wrote the book? Taj-ul-Mazir? Hasan Nizami. Okay, children. Next one. Ziaud-Barni. Ziaud-Barni. The book name is Tariq-i-Ferozshahi. Tariq-i-Ferozshahi. Who written this book? Ziaud-Barni. Ziaud-Barni written this book. Tarq is meaning history. The meaning of the word Tarq is history. Next one. Feristas wrote Tariq-i-Feristra. Feristas wrote Tariq-i-Feristra in 16th century, deals with the history of the rise of the Mughal power in India. Mughal power in India. What is the name of the book? Tariq-i-Feristra. Who wrote the book? Feristra wrote the book. Okay, yeah. We move to next para. Biographies and autobiographies. What is the meaning of biographies? Biography means if somebody is writing about another person is called as biography. Autobiographies means one person writes about himself or herself. His or her story is called as autobiography. Okay, children. Here, in the 16th century, Emperor Babur wrote Babarnama. Babur wrote Babarnama. Abdul Faisal wrote Aini Akbari and Akbarnama. These books gave the information about Babur. Next one, in the 17th century, Jahangir wrote his Mama Tusk-i-Jahangiri. Tusk-i-Jahangiri. Tusk is a Persian word. Its meaning autobiography. Its meaning autobiography. Next one, apart from autobiographies, the emperors Tabaqat-i-Akbari authored by Nizamuddin Ahmad, is considered reliable than the exaggerated account of Abul Fasl. Similarly, Badani's outstanding work, Tariq-e-Badani, was published in 1595. This work spans 3 volumes. The volume on Akbar's reign in a frank and critical account of Akbar's administration, particularly of his religious policy. Children, I know it is difficult for you to learn these names and authors. So, I have given a chapter column on the books and authors. You can go through the by-card them. Okay? Name of the book, author's name. First one, Tabaqt-i-Nasri. I know it is difficult for you to learn these names and authors. So I have given a chapter column at the books and authors. You can go through and by heart them. Okay? Name of the book, author's name. First one, Tabaqt-i-Nasri, Minhaj-ut-Siraj. Second one, Taj-ul-Mazir, Hasan Nizami. Third one, Tariq-i-Firoz Shahi, Ziaud-Barni. Fourth one, Tariq-i-Feristra, other name Feristra, Babarnama Babar. Ain-i-Akbari, Abdul Fasl, Akbarnama Abdul Fasl. Tusik-i-Jahangiri, Jahangir. Tabaqat-i-Akbari, Nizamuddin Ahmad. Tariq-i-Badani, Badani. Okay, children? I hope you have understood it nicely, isn't it? Shall we move on next heading? Okay. Travelers and travelogues. Travelogues meaning பயண குறிப்புகள். What is called travelers? The people who is visiting the different countries. The people who is visiting the different country is called as travelers. What does a travelogues mean? The people who is visit different countries write a book about the country's people, cultures, religions, and their habit of food, etc. Isn't it? Everything they are regarding as a documents. The documents are known as travelogues. Travelogues. Travelogues meaning பயண குறிப்புகள். In this session, we are going to see about different travelers who visited our country during the period of medieval India. First, we are going to see Marco Polo. Marco Polo a Venetian traveler visited when the Pandya kingdom was becoming the leading Tamil power in the 13th century. See children, Marco Polo, a Venetian traveler, visited when the Pandyan kingdom was becoming the leading Tamil power in the 13th century. When Marco Polo visited Tamil Nadu in the 13th century during the kingdom of Pandya, Marco Polo was twice in Kayal, which was a port city presently in Toothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. It was full of ships from Arabia and China. So, when Marco Polo visited Tamil Nadu, he first came to Kayal. Kayal is, now it is called Toothukudi, isn't it? In the 13th century in Tamil Nadu, they had a trade with Arabia and China through sea route, isn't it? Okay. Marco Polo tells us that he himself came by ship from China. How he came to Tamil Nadu? He came to Tamil Nadu by ship from China. According to Marco Polo, thousands of horses were imported into southern India by sea from Arabia and Persia. Marco Polo said that thousands of horses they were imported into South India. South India means our Tamil Nadu by sea from Arabia and Persia. Next we can see Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni accompanied Muhammad of Ghazni in one of his campaigns and stayed in India for 10 years. How he came to India? Al-Biruni came to India with Muhammad of Ghazni. How many years he stayed in India? He stayed in India for 10 years. The most accurate account of Muhammad's Somnath expeditions is that of Al-Biruni. When Muhammad of Ghazni captured Somnath city, Al-Biruni was there with Muhammad. So he recorded everything accurately, what and all happened in that particular time. He was well educated and also knowledge person. He travelled all over India, not only one place, but also he travelled all over the places and trying to get understanding India and her people. He gathered many information about the people and noted everything with his book. What is the name of the book? He wrote it Dahik-i-Hind. Al-Biruni wrote Dahik-i-Hind. Dahik-i-Hind. We can see Ibn Battuta. Here Ibn Battuta in 14th century, an Arab-born Morocco scholar, travelled from Morocco right across North Africa to Egypt and then to Central Asia and India. So Ibn Battuta started from Morocco and traveled North Africa to Egypt and again traveled to Central Asia and India. He wrote a book, name was called Rigila. Rigila means the travels. It contains rich details about the people and the countries where he visited. Again, Ibn Battuta tells us caste in India and the practice of sati. He also mentioned about caste system because in the previous years in our India followed a different kinds of caste system and also practice of sati. Do you know what is sati? Sati means when the husband died, the wife also forced to sit on the funeral fire. That is called sati. Sati means in Tamil, Udankattai Yerdal. Again he describes the city of Delhi, a vast and magnificent city. What does it mean vast? Large. Magnificent. சிறப்பம்சமாய்ந்த டெல்லியை பற்றி டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணியிருக்கிறார். Those were the days when Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq transferred his capital from Delhi to Devagiri. It is called Daulatabad in the south, converting this Delhi city into a desert. Delhi city into a desert. Muhammad bin Tughlaq changed his capital from Delhi to Devagiri. The people also shifted from Delhi to Devagiri in south. They suffered a lot. Next, other travelers. In the south, Vijayanagar had many foreign visitors who left behind their detailed account of the state. First one, an Italian named Nicola Gandhi came in 1420. An Italian named Nicola Gandhi came in 1420. Second, Abdur Razak came from Herat, the court of Great Khan in Central Asia in the year 1443. Domenico Pius, a Portuguese traveler who visited the city in 1522. These travelers recorded about Vijayanagar Emperor. Children, this lesson is over. I hope you all understood this lesson very well. Thank you.